Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining. We are reading Grantha Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 8. We completed chapter 6 yesterday, entitled The Demigods and the Demons Declare a Truce or a Peace. Just a quick summary of this chapter. So, in the previous chapter, we discussed that how all the demigods went to Shvetadvipa, headed by Lord Brahma. And they recited multiple prayers, a lot of prayers, almost 25 verses were there, just glorifying the prayers of Lord Brahma and the demigods. So in this chapter, we see that first the Lord Hari appeared. That's the beginning of this chapter. And then the beautiful form of the Lord is described in text number 3 to 7. His eyes, his blackish body, his yellow silken garments, his nupura, his smiling face, his entire body is very, very beautiful. His earrings, his lotus face, his waist belt, his necklace, his kaustuba gem, and the beautiful vanamala, the garland of flowers around his neck, his sudarshan disc and club. Very, very beautiful verse. uh, Text number 3 to 7 describe that Lord's beauty is a person. It's not some light or some imaginative thing. He's a person. Then again, after darshan, what happens? Prayer. Before darshan, prayer. The fruit of the prayer is the darshan of the Lord. And when we take darshan of the Lord, when we go to the temple, we must prostrate ourselves and offer prayer. Again, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are offering these prayers. They had their darshan, they had the darshan of the Supreme Lord, that how you are so supremely omnipotent, inconceivable. Our repeated obeisance unto you, my Lord. You are the beginning, you are the middle, you are the end. And the example of the pot is given again. And then we discuss the example of that the fire can be kindled from wood, the milk can be milked from a cow, the grains can be cultivated by the land, and then the water can be dug out from the land. Similarly, these are the different aspects of bhakti. These 5 points which are mentioned, are the different aspects of bhakti. That how we can, under the knowledge of bhakti can be learned from a bona fide spiritual master. How we need to take the nectar of association of devotees that will lead to profusion of bhakti. And when we worship the Lord, taking association, taking shelter of bona fide spiritual master, we will get a lot of bhakti. And then what is the effect of darshan? Very, very important. So they were eager and patient. And the effect of darshan is that by seeing you, the long desired goal of our life, all become happy. Just as the elephants afflicted by a forest fire become happy when they enter into the water. Similarly, we are suffering from Bhavasagar, from the Samsara Dava, Nadi, the Loka. Then getting darshan of the Lord is so soothing, calming, that all the miseries are destroyed. And this later also comes in this chapter when we read yesterday actually this point, and when they were carrying that Mandrachala mountain, what was the name of mountain? Mandara mountain. Then it was very heavy. It was a golden mountain. And then their arms were broken, so there are bruises everywhere. But when the Lord Ajita came, Lord Hari came, they were all cured. Even the bruises were gone. So then finally they asked, Lord, please tell us some help. What should we do? You know the whole situation that the demons are in power and we are powerless. And we know why it happened, because they had offended their guru or the great devotee Durvasa Muni. They had ignored the Mahaprasad given by him. So Lord Vishnu gave them instructions, and he gave them a very nice plan. What was the plan? The churning of the ocean by Mandara mountain, and Vasuki as the churning rope, and the demons on one side, the demigods on one side. And he said, now, first of all, hear attentively. Very, very important point. We must hear the instructions of Lord and his devotees very attentively. The Lord is personally saying, hear very attentively. And now you need to do a truce or a peace. So now is not the time to fight. Now is the time to work together and follow the the snake and rat analogy. So the Lord is kindly telling that a snake sometimes uses the rat to get out of that basket, because a snake cannot bite that basket. The rat can bite the basket and make a hole, and the snake will get out and then eat the rat. That's the analogy Lord gave, and that you use them, and later we'll see. So be patient, don't get agitated, don't be too greedy, give up greed, fear, and anger. Have faith. That's a big difference which has come multiple times in this chapter. The demigods have faith in the Supreme Lord, the demons or Danavas don't have faith. Then finally, Indra says, okay, he approaches the head of the demons, namely Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj also is thinking, okay, he agreed, but later inside he's also thinking, oh, we will use them and get the nectar. Indra is thinking, we'll use them and get the nectar. So both of them have hidden agendas. So anyways, the negotiations were very good. And then we learned a very important point. We'll discuss about guest reception, how Bali Maharaj treated Indra, that even an enemy forgets that I'm come in the home of an enemy. That's how we should treat the guests. Prabhupada mentioned that in the purport. So guests should be treated very nicely. And we discussed some points from the manual as well. So negotiations were successful and they finally agreed, okay, let's start the churning process. So they brought Mandara mountain. It was not an ordinary mountain. They had to really were crying and wailing, oh my God, so heavy, so heavy. And they're, after carrying for some distance, it fell down. And some of them, their arms were inside and the legs were inside and knees were inside. Some were bruised and broken bones and whatnot. In short, they were fatigued and hopeless. Then comes Lord on his transcendental carrier, Lord Sri Garuda, and then with one hand, picks it, and the Garuda, not only the mountain, but the demigods and the demons as well, and then they all were carried. This we discussed and read yesterday only. So this sort of shows a big difference between how the demigods and demons put together were struggling, and the Lord carried like piece of cake. Then finally, Lord said, okay, now it's Vasuki's turn for Seva. Now Garuda, you take your respective position, you go back in short. Now it's turn for Vasuki to do some Seva. So that's where basically this chapter ends. So now we will see what happens. Did the churn? Was the churning successful? If it was successful, what came out, what didn't come out, and how they handle that, we will learn in the next chapter or the following chapters. Okay, so any more comments? I think let's start with this 7th chapter. Raise your hand if you would like to read, so you can know who I would want to read. We'll start with the summary. This will not read. Yes, it will probably. You can start with the summary. Yes, Vipul Prabhu, you want to read?
I was mute. Hare Krishna devotees, downward pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Chapter 7. Lord Shiva saves the universe by drinking poison. The summary of the 7th chapter is as follows. As described in this chapter, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appearing in his incarnation as a tortoise, dove deep into the ocean to carry Mandara mountain on his back. At first, the churning of the ocean produced Calcutta poison. Everyone feared this poison, but Lord Shiva satisfied them by drinking it. With the understanding that when the nectar was generated from the churning, they would share it equally, the demigods and the demons brought Vasuki to be used as the rope for the churning rod. By the expert arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demons held the snake near the mouth, whereas the demigods held the tail of the great snake. Then, with great endeavor, they began pulling the snake in both directions. Because the churning rod, Mandara mountain, was very heavy and was not held by any support in the water, it sank into the ocean. And in this way, the prowess of both the demons and the demigods was vanquished. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then appeared in the form of a tortoise and supported Mandara mountain on his back. Then the churning resumed with great force. As a result of the churning, the huge amount of poison was produced. The Prajapati, seeing no one else to save them, approached Lord Shiva and offered him prayers full of truth. Lord Shiva is called Ashutosh because he is very pleased if one is a devotee. Therefore, he easily agreed to drink all the poison generated by the churning. The goddess Durga, Bhavani, the wife of the Lord Shiva, was not at all disturbed when the Lord Shiva agreed to drink the poison, for she knew Lord Shiva's prowess. Indeed, she expressed her pleasure at this agreement. Then Lord Shiva gathered the devastating poison, which was everywhere. He took it in his hand and drank it. After he drank the poison, his neck became bluish. A small quantity of the poison dropped from his hands to the ground. And it is because of this poison that there are poisonous snakes, scorpions, toxic plants, and other poisonous things in this world. So, Prabhuji, more description in the following verses, but what I learned from this that great devotee always sacrifice himself for the others to lift others, especially from these material sufferings. Back to Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Very, very nice chapter. So a lot of wonderful stories will come in this. A lot of lessons as well, not just stories, there are great lessons. So let's dive deep into this ocean of churning of the ocean. So yes, Silas Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, everyone. Canto 8, Chapter 7, Text 1. Sri Shuka Uvacha Te Nagarajam Amantriya Falabhagena Vasukim Pariviya Girau Tasmin Netram Abdim Madanvita Hare Bhire Surayata Amritarte Kurudvaha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sukadeva Goswami said, O best of the Kurus, Maharaj Parikshit, the demigods and demons summoned Vasuki, king of the serpents, requesting him to come and promising to give him a share of the nectar. They coiled Vasuki around Mandara mountain as a churning rope, and with great pleasure they endeavored to produce nectar by churning the ocean of milk. So this verse is pretty self-explanatory. They summoned Vasuki, who is the king of serpents, and he's supposed to be used as the rope tied around Mandara mountain, and one side there are the devas and the other side is the asuras, and they're all excited, and they said they will give some nectar to Vasuki as well. And in the previous chapter, last few verses, we read how the Lord told Garuda to go leave that spot, because then Vasuki wouldn't come. So the Lord, it's all the Lord's arrangement to make this happen. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Please, if you'd like to add or correct.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. They promised to give a share of nectar to Vasuki with invitation proposal. They promise, okay, demons, you also come, help us in this, we'll give you some nectar. And Vasuki also, we need you, we'll give you some nectar, help us out. So, and it was the Lord's plan as well. So the Lord. So let's see what happened. Mount Mandara is the churning rod, and Vasuki is here, the churning rope. So let's see the next verse. I would like to read. Babu, Kanayan Prabhu, you want to read? I think Sudhir Prabhu has his hand up. Yes, Sudhir Prabhu, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandar Pranam, all praise to Srila Prabhupada. And then text now. Hari Purush Jata Chakrahe Purvam Devasthato Bhavan. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. The personality of Godhead, Ajita, grasped the front portion of the snake, and then the demigods followed. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I think it is self-explanatory. And I also heard that initially, actually the demigods wanted to, were given the tail portion, but they said, no, we don't want tail. We want to hold the front portion. And in fact, I also heard that in the chants it was churning. So Vasuki was very disturbed and was actually throwing out poison, and actually it was, and then the demons were thinking, oh, we should have actually got the tail. I'm not sure, Prabhuji. Please, Hare Krishna.
Yes, that's going to come in the following verses, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Yes, Babu and Prabhu. Thank you, Steve Prabhu, for reading. This is quite straightforward, so we'll move on to the next one. Yes, Babu and Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna. So Tannaichan Daitya Patayo Mahapurusha Chestitam Nagrahanimo Vayam Ucham Aher Angam Amangalam Swadhyaya Shruta Sampanna Prakyata Jama Karma. Translation: the leader of demons thought it unwise to hold the tail, the inauspicious portion of the snake. Instead, they wanted to hold the front, which had been taken by personality of Godhead and the demigod. Because of that portion was auspicious and glorious. Thus, the demons on the plea that they were all highly advanced students of Vedic knowledge and were all famous for their birth and activities, protested that they wanted to hold the front of the snake. Purport: the demons thought that front of the snake was auspicious and that catching hold of that portion would be more chivalrous. Moreover, Daityas must always do the opposite of the demigods. That is their natures. So we have actually seen this in relation to our Krishna consciousness movement. We are advocating cow protection and encouraging people to drink more milk and eat palatable preparations made of milk. But the demons, just to protest such proposals, are claiming that they are advanced in scientific knowledge as described here by words Swadhyaya Shrutta Sampanna. They say that according to their scientific way, they have discovered that milk is dangerous and that the beef obtained by killing cow is very nutritious. The difference of opinion will always continue. Indeed, it has existed since days of yore. Millions of years ago, there was the same competition. The demons, as a result of their so-called Vedic study, preferred to hold the side of snake near the mouth. Supreme Personality of Godhead thought it is wise to catch hold of dangerous part of the snake and allow the demons to hold the tail, which was not dangerous, but because of competitive desire, the demons thought it is wise to hold the snake near the mouth. If the demigods were going to drink poison, the demons would resolve, why should we not share the poison and die gloriously by drinking it? Yeah. So, in regards to the words of Swadhyaya Sampanna Prakyat Jama Karma B. Another question may be raised. If one is actually educated in Vedic knowledge, is famous for performing prescribed activities, and has been born in great aristocratic family, why should he be called demon? The answer is that one may be highly educated and may have been born in aristocratic family, but if he is godless, if he does not listen to the instruction of God, then he is a demon. There are many examples in history of men like Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, Kamsa, who were well educated, who were born in aristocratic families, and who were very powerful and chivalrous in fighting, but who, because of desire deriding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, were called Rakshasas or demon. One may be very well educated, but if he has no sense of Kṛṣṇa consciousness, no obedience to the Supreme Lord, he is a demon. That is described in Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita. Namam mam dushkritno muda prapadyante naradama maya. Can you scroll? Yeah, it's a longer paper. Okay. Those miscreant who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of atheistic nature of demon, do not surrender unto me. Asuram Bhavam refers to not accepting the existence of God or transcendental instruction of the personality of Godhead. Bhagavad Gita clearly consists of transcendental instruction imparted directly by Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Asuras, instead of accepting this instruction directly, make commentaries according to their own whimsical ways and mislead everyone. Without profit even for themselves, one should therefore be very careful of demonic, godless person according to the word of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Even if the godless demon is very well educated, we must be considered as Muda, Naradama, and Maya Mayaya Prahitnyana. So my understanding is it's very well opt for current society as well. So people when they are more educated, they feel proud about themselves, and they feel they have their own framework, and they work on that. But actually Krishna's consciousness is important. It's whether you are educated or not educated, you have to that God, we have to believe in Krishna consciousness and obey to God principle. It's applicable nowadays also, Prabhuji. I think a lot of people who educated, they are not understanding, and they are questioning a lot of things, considering they are like intelligent people. that is totally wrong. They also consider as a demon. That is what my understanding.
Thank you, Babu Kanyan Prabhu, for reading and sharing your realization. That's absolutely true. Demon is not that they have horns on their head and they are ugly beings, or they have a certain color of skin, or they live in a different planet in Kali Yuga. It's within the demoniac propensity, the propensity to be godless or to oppose the system of God, the verdict of God, or the devotees, or the spiritual master. That's demoniac. And in Kali Yuga, the divine and demoniac are within. In the previous stages, they were in different planets, then in different lokas, or then in different families, then in the same family, and then in the same person. So the point is that it is not one they could be very beautiful looking, they could be very educated externally. Ravana was very educated. Hiranyakashipu was very educated in their own sphere. But Prabhupada is simply writing they are godless. Nowadays we say, oh, some people say milk is very, very unhealthy. Oh, ghee is very, very unhealthy. But the Vedic culture does not say so. The Vedic culture says totally opposite. But the demons, Prabhupada is saying, they say, oh, cow flesh is good. Milk is not good. Ghee is not good. Blood is good. But according to Vedic culture, the milk is good, but the blood is bad. But again, the demons concoct their own philosophy. Yah Shastra Vidim Utsritsya. They don't act as per Guru Sadhu Shastra. They act as per their own whims and fantasies. So when Lord Ajita gave them the tail, hey, if the news comes, if someone clicks a photo and puts on Facebook, the Samudra Manthan is happening and the demons give a tail, it will spoil all our good name. We don't want the tail. But the head is dangerous, my dear demon. The head is dangerous. Don't worry. Even if we die, we'll die gloriously. Prabhupada mentioned at the end. Why should we not share of the poison and die gloriously by drinking it? Even if poison comes, we want to die gloriously. That's false ego. So, basically opposing the idea of God. So, they all protested, why should we hold the tail? Why don't we hold the head? Why don't we be the head? Why should I tail? Tail means tail follows, head leads, right? Head is the leader, tail is the follower. So, divine people just want to be a true follower. But demoniac people always want to lead. I want to be the leader. Why he's the leader? Why he's getting the head? Why not me getting be the head? So that's explained here. He says Gauranga Prabhu give very nice remembering that. But we will see. Being a head is very, very difficult position. A true leader is a true follower. And a true follower is a true leader. So one cannot be a true leader without being a true follower. So, any other comments or questions anyone has in this context? Okay, yes, Paswati Mataji wants to read next verse. Yes, Mataji, please.
Hi, Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam to everyone. Text 4. Iti tushnim sthitan daityan vilokya purushottamaha smayamano visrajyagram pucham jagraha sa amaraha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus the demons remain silent, opposing the desire of the demigods. Seeing the demons and understanding their motive, the personality of Godhead smiled. Without discussion, he immediately accepted their proposal by grasping the tail of the snake. and the demigods followed him. Here, Lord, the Supreme Lord knows what is the desire of the demons, as well as also Lord knows everything. So that's why he is Antaryami. So that's why he knows what the demons want and why they want that, why they have this motive. So that's why Lord granted them to grasp the head of the snake and the Lord taking the tail of the snake. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. The Lord smiled at the demons' proud proposal, the proud behavior, because he knows past, present, and future. He knows everything. He knows what's going to come. So sometime a demoniac person thinks, I know better. I know better, my Lord. You don't know what is good for me. I know what's good for me. That's again the propensity of a demoniac person. So basically, when we don't surrender to Lord's plan, we invite more trouble. And we'll see that how. When we surrender to Lord's plan, who is the Supreme Master, then we will have much less trouble. But the demons don't want to surrender to Lord's plan. Demigods or the divine want to surrender to Lord's plan. So the Lord was smiling at the behavior of the demons. Then you're inviting trouble for your own self. So let's see what trouble they invited. Yes, Subrat Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Tasthana vibhagasta evam kasyapa mamantu paramam yatta amritartham payonidhim. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. After thus adjusting how the snake was to be held, the sons of Kasyapa, both demigods and demons, began their activities, desiring to get nectar by churning the ocean of milk. So after the demigods hold the head part and the demons hold the head part and the demigods hold the tail part, started their activities of churning. But it's very straightforward. Back to you.
Thank you. See how Shukdev Goswami is giving us such a beautiful, picturesque view that everything is so clear. The Mandara mount tail, the golden, and then they are holding the snake on each side. Who is holding the head? Who is holding the tail? It could be a beautiful drama. The whole family can do, the community can do. Such a beautiful drama it can be. And very, very engaging. So certainly the parents and kids and families and communities can engage and have wonderful drama on this beautiful topic of Samudra Manthan. So yes, they have taken their positions. They're all set for churning. The sons of Kashyapa, they're the demons and the demigods are the sons of the same father, Kashyapuni. The Diti sons, Daityas, Aditi sons, Adityas or demigods, devatas. Let's see what happens. Any Matajis want to read?
Prabhuji, one question. So the leader of the demons is Bali Maharaj, right? And so at this point, he's not a Mahajan then, right? Because he wants to hold the head of the serpent.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Yes, Dandavats. I think if you see the word, it says Kashyapa Nandana. So Bali Maharaj is actually fourth generation from Kashyapa. Kashyapa, Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj, Virochana, and then Bali Maharaj. So many generations away. But if you see, there were hundreds and thousands of more demons there. He was not the only one. So I think collectively, including Bali Maharaj, as you said, they are holding the head of the snake. And we probably Bali, I don't remember if Bali Maharaj is personally present here, but I'm sure Shubhala's going Prabhu knows. But collectively, it's talking about demons. And you're right that he's not a Mahajan yet. I'm sorry, maybe I didn't answer your question. Please, you guys proceed.
Yes, Mataji. I think we read somewhere that Bali Maharaj was present here, and he's the leader of the demons. Yeah, I think you answered the question. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Any Matajis want to read or not read? Text number 6.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can read.
Yes, please.
Dandavat Pranam, text 6. Madhyamanerva so nityadharo ape vishat triyamanopi bali virgoravat pandunandana. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. O son of the Pandu dynasty, when Mandara mountain was thus being used as a churning rod in the ocean of milk, it had no support, and therefore, although held by the strong hands of demigods and demons, it sank into the water. So here Shukdev Goswami is talking to the Parikshit Maharaja, and he's telling about the Mandara mountain, how it is sank into the ocean of milk because it did not have any support from the bottom side, and because of his heavy weight, it was sinking into the water. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Quite straightforward. Who does this word refer to? O son of Pandu dynasty. Who all know the answer? Everyone knows. Who does not know?
Parikshit Maharaj.
Thank you, Mataji. This refers to Parikshit Maharaj, the son of Abhimanyu, the grandson of the Pandavas. And Shukdev Goswami is speaking this to him. So let's read one more verse in text number 7. Yes, Moksha Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Text 7. Te suni varna manasa parimala nakhu khal shriya asan sav porushte nashte devana tribala siyasa. Wrote and translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. One second, Prabhuji. Because the mountain is sung by the strength of providence, the demigods and the demons were disappointed, and their faces seemed.
Looks like she's having some network difficulties. Manjulali, you want to complete the translation?
Because the mountain had been sunk by the strength of providence, the demigods and demons were disappointed, and their faces seemed to shrivel.
Okay. So there's a very nice lesson here. I'll read from the Bhagavad that hindrances are imposed upon everyone by the supreme power of the providence. The demons regard them as accidents or chance, but the devotees accept them as acts of the supreme ruler. So the dangers can be created by the Lord and can also be removed by him. This is known to the devotees, but the demons cannot understand it. So we see so many hindrances are coming, right? One after the other. First of all, the demigods lost everything by the curse of Durvasa Muni. Then they went to the Kshirosagar. Then they had to do truce with the demons. Then they had to carry such a heavy mountain and their arms were broken and whatnot. And then they somehow started this churning. They had to exchange the head side of the snake with with the demons. Challenges, right? These are all challenges. And then whatnot, the whole mountain goes in the water. Boom. They were all disappointed. So life is like that. Life will throw a lot of challenges. Life will throw a lot of uncertainties. Life will throw a lot of difficulties. But we should have faith in the supreme personality of Godhead. That no matter what may come, Kṛṣṇa will have a plan for us. Kṛṣṇa will help us out. This is a test, and the Lord will help us out. So there's one famous quote: "Don't ask for smaller problems, ask for bigger shoulders." That we should not pray, "Lord, please take this difficulty." We should pray, "Lord, please give me the strength to go through this difficulty and increase my surrender to you. Increase my degree of shelter upon your lotus feet." That's my prayer. Because no matter who we are, difficulties will come. But if we learn how to take shelter of the Supreme Lord in those situations, that's the success. Because ultimately, the biggest exam is death, which will come to everyone, no matter who we are. And that's the time, that's the biggest test for all of us. So, any other comments or questions, additions anyone has?
Yeah, just one comment. So the mountain is inside the snake is around the mountain, right? And they're pulling the snake from each side, the demons and the demigods. So then the mountain slips through the snake, and they're pulling from either side. So it's like a rope that you're pulling from, trying to stretch it really. So isn't that it's a big tension to the snake? That's just my comment. Is that a proper visualization of what's going on?
Yes, the churning.
Yeah.
Yes. Churning, I'll share a picture. Most of you may have seen this picture. I'll share this after the class. So, yes, basically that's how the mountain is like acting like a grinding rod or churning rod, and the ropes is around it. So the snake, yes, there is absolutely tension.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's the seva. Vasuki has been brought by the Lord to do that seva. So it shows again that to do the service of the Lord, that's a whole movement, Garuda ready to do anything for the Lord. We'll see Lord Shiva, we read in the summary. Drinking poison is also a lot of tension. It's not a cup of herbal tea. It's poison, right? Mata Yashoda was also in tension of the safety of Kṛṣṇa. So it's not that bhakti means, oh, everything will be rosy cozy. It means to go through that tension to please Krishna, to please Srila Prabhupada. So, yes,
Yeah,
that is mentioned. Yeah, very nice comment. Anything else before we stop? Okay, so we will pause here and continue tomorrow with the next verse, text number 8, and we'll see what happens now. The fountain is in the water or the ocean of milk. Let's see what happens next tomorrow. It's an interesting story, interesting Leela. Yantra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Samundra
Thank you so much.
Devasya kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.